get started. And this meeting is being live streamed to remind everyone and being recorded. And so unless you're going to speak, I ask that you just mute yourself so we can minimize any interruptions in terms of talking over each other. And so the Public Defender Service Corporation Board of Trustees meeting of February 22nd, 2022 is now called to order. And I will ask the secretary to please call the roll.
Chief Justice F. Philip Carbolito.
I am present and I am logged on from my chamber at the Judicial Center.
Presiding Judge Alberto C. Lamarena III.
Yeah, he's not currently logged on, so we can proceed forward.
Trustee Cynthia V. Ikubi.
Buenas and half a day, Your Honor and everyone. Cynthia V. Ikubi appearing, and I am logged on at my office and located in Hagåtña, Guam.
Trustee Donna Muñoz Canata.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm logged in and present here at my home in Ipan, Talafofo.
Guam Bar President Jackie T. Terlahi.
I know that she is not currently logged on, and hopefully Presiding Judge Lamarena and President Jackie will join us sometime during the course of this meeting. But we have 3 of 5 members present, so we have a quorum of the board present. I note for the record that due notice of the meeting having been published in accordance with Guam law, we are able to conduct the regular business of the board. And so we'll give the presiding judge time to complete his logon and Jackie Terlahi, and we will have all 5 members present. So I want to note for the record that we have just completed the roll call, and I note that the presiding judge Lamarena has joined us, and so is President Jackie Terlahi, President of the Guam Bar. So we have all 5 members present for this meeting. And the first item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes of meeting of January 25th, 2022. Is there a motion to adopt the minutes?
Motion to adopt.
All right, it's been moved by President Jackie and seconded.
I'll second.
All right, seconded by board member Cynthia Ikubi. Any discussion on the minutes? There being none, all those in favor, please say aye.
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 Those opposed? So it's been unanimously adopted. The minutes of the meeting of January 25th are duly adopted. Under old business, we'll start with the financial status update from our controller, Mr. Mike Moreno. Mr. Moreno.
Thank you, Your Honor, and good afternoon to everybody. Public Defender Service Corporation and the alternate public defender are still waiting for the second release of the allotment for February. We have received our first one, and we are at 84% at this time. We do anticipate receiving the second release within this week for the second payroll. For the domestic violence program, as of today, we do have 3 separate fundings available. For Stop 2020, we have a balance of $8,000, which we are presently invoicing all services except sexual assaults. And we do have the funding from Stop 2018 for the sexual assault itself. And then we have the large funding from ICJR, which we are not presently touching because we are invoicing everything out of Stop 2020. we do have a balance of 115,000, which we will start invoicing after we exhaust everything from stop 2020, which is scheduled for June of this year. For the EJC, we do have receivables as of today for the months of October through January. We have not received any reimbursements yet. And the total of that is 49,000. And that would be all for the financial status.
So have you submitted a billing for the ARC? I'm sorry, the ARP funds for our EJC center operation?
We have received the entire ARP funding. So it is within our bank account, so we can use that anytime we need to. We don't need to invoice anybody, yes. We'll just spend it from there.
We draw down.
I see, okay. And how much of that has been loaded into the public defender accounts?
We have received 1.5 million.
I'm sorry?
1.5 million.
Okay. And that, and the corporation has what, up to 2 years to draw down on those funds?
That is correct.
All right. Okay, any questions for Mr. Moreno? There being none, let's proceed to the next item under old business, and that's the report from our executive director, Mr. Hattori.
Welcome, board. We don't really have much to report except for the fact that we have Ron Haynes, who's present in the meeting. He was hired to be the managing attorney for the Outer Justice Center. So the public defender's loss is EJC's gain. So we're assuming all of his criminal cases. We have a couple openings that we've announced, and so we are hoping to pick up a couple recent law school graduates, or anyone really. I mean, there's such a shortage of lawyers in Guam. We'll pretty much take anybody. But other than that, Ron's going to be presenting on EJC. They're hopefully going to move in to their new facility by April. We've consolidated the resources of our advocacy group, or the victim service unit. So he has quite a team together now, probably with about 5 or 6 employees. And so between handling the outer justice seniors, the ARP seniors, and the protective orders / restraining orders, eventually, we really are developing a really good, strong, basically civil section. Other than that, we have the only other things I want to report is we received a Burns JAG grant. We're in the process of setting up Zoom video interview rooms in each of the detention facilities for the use of our attorneys, APD, as well as the private attorney panel. And so I think we're probably just a month away from rolling that out, right, Kathy Gogui? She's nodding along. And that's about all we have to report. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Hattori. Any questions for our executive director? If none, then we'll move to our managing attorney for APD, Ms. Annie Gale. You are recognized.
Thank you, Your Honor. I don't have anything to report since the last board meeting. Everything is still status quo. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Okay, so let's go ahead and make our way to the main item on our agenda, which is a update and a report from the newly hired, I guess, managing attorney, Mr. Ron Haynes. And so at this time, Mr. Haynes, I'll recognize you, and you can provide the summary. We have some case activity report and some slides, and I'll allow you to make your presentation before I entertain any questions. Mr. Haynes.
Well, thank you, and good afternoon, everybody on the board. So I am very happy to be at the EJC now as the managing attorney. This is day 7 for me, but I am trying to get up to speed quickly. And I've listened to the last board meeting so that I could get an idea of your concerns. And from there, put this report together. If it's okay, I would like to share my screen and go into my slides. So I'm guessing this week we can do this, and this will stop the sharing of the other screen right at the moment. So
Yeah, you can
okay.
do that.
All right, so this is just a report that I have prepared, and we sent some of this information to you. I just want to kind of get caught up on what's going on, what the numbers are, and what they hope they will be, and also addressing those concerns that you had. I just want to start off with showing you that we are, and I just see that Presiding Judge La Morena is entered in the waiting room. Okay, I guess we're there. So I just wanted to give you an idea of what new inquiries continue to come in. So we have this constant turnover. We are taking care of people on the wait list, and we'll get to that in just a minute. But you can see that in October, we had 73 new inquiries. Just this month, we've had 26. And so there definitely has to be a concern with, as we're taking care of them and they're, new people coming in, how are we reaching them, how to get through the wait list. So let me go ahead and show you some of these pie charts I put together that would help you see what we're doing. So first of all, let me tell you that as of last week, there is no more 4 wait lists. What we've done is consolidate all those to eliminate some of the confusion. And also some people wound up on 2 wait lists, and that created more confusion. We just have 1. There is 1 wait list, and there are urgent people on that get bumped to the front. Otherwise, we're going in order and trying to help the seniors as they have come to us. So I wanted to show you the way that I'm breaking this down really is because there is now just 1 wait list. This is fiscal year ending 2021, ending September 30th. And this is just a large segment. You can see that those closed, we have 264 after assessment, and closed 115 with services rendered. Now, I don't want you to get the idea that there was no services rendered. That's why I put after assessment, because many of these folks that were closed after assessment are referred to someone else, or quite frankly, many of the seniors decide, well, they don't want the service at this time, or they've learned that we can do things other than through a will. For example, a senior might say, well, I want a will, but I just have my bank account. Well, then we just send them to the bank and say, name a beneficiary. It avoids the probate. It's a better way to go anyway. And so just by doing that, we have given them services. It's just not signed wills and things like that. Now there's this open pending services group. These are open currently. We are looking at them this week, next week, to finish their services. And there's a large group just called pending that I wanted to answer what that is about. So here is the pending breakdown. So this is just 158. And what's happened here is you see the large blue on the right is the pending senior contact. Now, what that means is them contacting us. We have contacted them. We've reached out to them. We've given them opportunities. And by giving them opportunities to fill out the forms, what I mean by that is we have suggested our new website. that has the forms on it. Although I admit these are complicated and hard for a lot of seniors to do. So we've asked them, come on in. You can pick up the forms. We can meet with you here and help you fill out those forms, whatever you want to do. There is more than half of those seniors are in that position. And you might wonder, well, why? Let me just suggest that a lot of times when we get the information on the front end, let's say we're getting information from public health, they may ask them, hey, do you want a will? And many of the seniors might say, sure. But then when it comes right down to it, they're not ready to continue to seek it at this time. So, we're giving them the option. There's also the pending documents from the senior, 11% of those. And that's just that they have the questionnaires in hands, the IPRs are finished. We're just waiting for them to return some documents such as where they want the property to go. Many times they want to talk to their family first, talk things over. So we're waiting for them to finish that avenue. And some of these, many of these seniors, we've actually gone through the questionnaires with them. It's just they didn't know the answer. Gee, I don't know if Bill or Bob wants this property. We're going to go find out. So it's that kind of thing. The legal forms from seniors are legal intake. That is representation agreements. And for whatever reason, they haven't returned it yet. We have a small category of off island. We have their information. We're just waiting for them to return. And then we have, you see this 12%, which we have everything done. We are just waiting for them to reschedule with us when they want to come in to sign. And there are just an infinite number of reasons why they haven't done that as of yet. And many of them, at some point, I had to say to the staff, we're only counting numbers for this up to February 15th. So let's just stop there. Whatever it is, it is. And so some of these may have already called back. I do want to assure you that everyone on the year 2021 has been contacted at least twice. So we had the original contact where we did our intake and assessment that they reported to us what they were interested in. That's a very early contact, and that puts them on the wait list. From there, we have now contacted all of them 100% to say, you can get the forms from the website, or you can come in and pick up the forms. Now, I will say some of those seniors, when I say we've contacted them, we may have had to leave a message. We haven't got a call back, things like that, but we have reached out to them at least twice, and some of them more than that. Let's go ahead and go to the next. Now we're picking up on fiscal year 2022. And these are those that have come in after September, the end of September, so October 1st. Now we have the large group, and we just haven't gotten that far down the list. But right now we're in November. We just began November. As of last week, everyone in October has been contacted at least twice, same options as the list in 2021. We still have 60% of these, or 135, are waiting to go further. This is the wait list where we haven't gotten documents for them as of yet. Many of them have not been contacted at all a second time. They only have their INA. We have the closed after assessment category, closed rendering services, and I'm sorry, that says 13, that should say 18. That was my typo on that when I was making the pie chart. Services rendered, we have 18. Now you might ask the question, why did these 18 jump ahead of the 2021. All of these are urgents from 2022 that have already had services rendered. Our hospital, home, something urgent. And when I say all of that, I may have gone a little too far, because what has happened on occasion is they've called us, we've assessed them, we've determined they're urgent, but then something happens that they have gotten better, they've left the hospital. We've had some COVID cases where we've put them on the urgent list because they're hospitalized COVID, but then they've recovered. So you might see in that category, we have the opened pending services. Now, we're not going to push them back down the list. We have considered them urgent, and we are going to take care of those services for them. So that's one way you do kind of catapult yourself over the list, but it's only in urgent circumstances, and it's only when we've determined after an assessment that that's the case. I had one just on Friday with a gentleman who is blind, very old, and he needed, he's not in a health condition that made him urgent. He needed a power of attorney because he needed to reapply for housing benefits. And he couldn't get there, couldn't do it. And so we went and did a home visit. We considered that urgent. He needed that to be resubmitted in March. So we did that on Friday. And actually we're waiting, we're hoping to get a call back from his granddaughter to tell us that that was successful, because sometimes some of these places, they don't take the power of attorney, or they have a problem with it, in which case we go back and redo it to comply. I just wanted to show you, this is only as of February 15th. I think we had our forms up about a week. And in that week, we have been asking people to go to the website if they can. And these are some of the submissions. They're not very large numbers, but you can see people are taking advantage of it. So, I did want to give you the idea of what's happening, what the numbers are. So when we talk about a wait list of 796 people, in reality, that's not the number on that list any longer. We are significantly down from that number. In we have, I'm sorry, I don't have the total offhand. It's 200 and something from both wait lists that haven't gone any further. We're either waiting for them to respond, or on wait list for the 2022. Yes, we haven't gotten to everyone on that wait list at all. We're still making calls for that. So let me go ahead and stop this screen for a moment. And I have another screen I want to share with you. This is the case flow, what's happening with this wait list at this time. So I've just kind of listed out the positions of people, what they're doing. We have the intake and assessment early on. 60% of the IPRs that we do have already been done. We have to do about 40 of them. We have 2 people working on that. And then from there, it goes to a legal assessment. This person is actually Jessica Lee. I know many of you know her. And, she has already graduated law school, and she's doing a great job making the early assessments, the early legal assessments, and then assigning the cases to an attorney. From there, we go to document preparation. And our secretary, Vera Cruz, assures me that she can get the number that I have asked for done. And that number is 12 to 16. We are looking to have 12 to 16 signings a week. And then we have after the document preparation, the client comes in to meet with an attorney. Me, Kat Seguenza, and David Highsmith still has a few cases he's working through. So they will come and have the signing at that time. So I am looking to do 12 to 16 a week. That's my goal. I have 9 scheduled this week. And I also will be helping with some of that early legal assessment. So I don't think that Jessica can do all 16 herself per week. So with her other duties as well, which is the IPR support. And so I will be helping out with that portion as well. So it is our goal to be doing 12 to 16 and addressing that wait list. Now, you know, that for me alone looks at about anywhere from 50 to 70 signings a month. And we have outside signings as well. That is more than the inquiries we are getting. So eventually we are going to be working through that wait list. And not every inquiry, as you could see by the numbers, not every inquiry makes it to a signing anyway. So I think we will be working at cutting that down. One concern that was mentioned at the last board meeting was where the bottleneck was. And we were thinking it's in the IPR support and the IPR, the gathering of the IPR information. As I just, even this morning, talking to the staff here, I don't really think that's actually where the bottleneck is occurring. I think it is at the legal assessment, and it's largely because seniors are not responding. And we have tried different things that we're waiting for a senior to give us documents, and then we wind up calling the senior back, and it kind of gets into a cycle like that. So we work our way down the wait list, but then we have to go back and pick up folks that haven't delivered the documents. And that is one reason why I'm going to be helping out as well with the legal assessment in order to find out what's the holdup, what we can do. And one of those things is that we are going to help them get through the forms right from the beginning. And you know, go through the questionnaires with them on the front end. So that's where we are. I know that's a lot of talking and a lot of numbers, but I was hoping to be able to answer some questions that you had last time.
Thank you, Mr. Haynes. I'm very encouraged in the short time that you have taken on the responsibility that you have set up as structure and a system in reference to trying to streamline the process and addressing what we understood to be a backlog from the last time, and a description of some of the issues that may have caused the cases to be delayed from the time that the staff is doing the screening, doing the intake, until the file is actually assigned to the lawyer, and that you recognize some of the issues, and that now you're addressing what may have been perceived as some of the shortcomings that that should have been reviewed. And so we will just keep the Elder Justice Center as a agenda item in our regular board meeting, so that we'll give you the opportunity to report to the board in reference to the progress that's being made. As you mentioned, initially there was a wait list of 796, and the intake of new cases was matching the closing of cases. And so if that was to continue at that rate, then the wait list would not be substantially addressed. And so I'm glad that you recognize that there needs to be the effort to work on that. And we want to provide the service to our senior members of our community seeking these services. We want to try and do that in as timely way as possible. And I appreciate the efforts that are being made to expedite the process. and to provide the service in terms of what the trustees had envisioned when we established the Elder Justice Center. Are there any questions for Mr. Haynes? All right. If there are none, then we'll just keep the topic, Steve, as an agenda item like the PD Executive Director Report and the APD Managing Attorney. And that would give Mr. Haynes the opportunity to provide his monthly progress report directly to the board. And so with that, there's no questions for Mr. Haynes. Then we'll proceed to the next item, and that's the law enforcement pay. And I'll recognize you, Kathy or Steve, who is going to speak on this issue.
I think, yeah, Kathy, you can go and speak on that.
Your Honor, we did the assessment of what we need for law enforcement pay. Our budget for FY 2022, it would probably, it's around 100,000. And at this point, we also checked with the administration, BDMR, to see if they would give us ARP money like they've done with the line agencies. And they won't give us the additional money of 100,000 to enact the law enforcement pay for our investigators. So what we're suggesting to do is we hold off until FY 2023 and we include that in our budget for FY 2023 and have the legislature fund our investigators accordingly.
All right. And so how many employees does this affect, Kathy?
We have 5 investigators here at Public Defender and 2 at APD.
All right. Okay. And have you done a examination as to whether or not the adjustment will affect any of the other positions in terms of pay parity? Any
Yes,
evaluation?
We have that as well, sir.
Okay, so what you're suggesting is this would be a budget item and a budget topic for review and discussion if this is going to be pushed forward. Is that what you're saying?
Correct, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, we'll leave it at that, and we'll wait until the information is brought before the trustees, and then we can address what, if anything, we are going to do with the proposal. Under new business, the only item that I wanted to reference, because I saw Mr. Leonard Flores on our virtual screen here, I was sent a copy of a letter that he had sent to Kathy. And this was not an item that was published as part of our agenda. And so I just want to note it for the record, but if there is a desire to make this as a topic for discussion, it would have to be at the next board meeting, is my understanding of the matter. Is that correct, Mr. Hattori?
Yes, Your Honor, but I would suggest maybe if he doesn't object that we could just add it to the minutes for the of the meeting. You just accept it, and then I think all the board members received it.
Did they?
No.
Okay.
Steve,
Go ahead.
we did not send a letter out. Mr. Flores sent us a
Oh.
letter regarding the Elder Justice Center, and I had asked that we advised the board that we did get a letter requesting for additional services for EJC, and that we acknowledge it at this meeting, and we bring it as new business for the next meeting in March.
All right. Mr. Flores, if you want to unmute yourself and turn on your video, we just want to explain the reason why we're not able to discuss your request at this board meeting. So Mr. Flores is just listening, and so just to summarize, this letter that we received came in after the meeting agenda was published, and so we'll just add this as an item for our next board meeting, and note it in our agenda in terms of what requests is being made there. All right, under.
Mr. Chairman, may I ask at least the gist of what the
Yeah.
letter was all about? So we can start thinking about it.
Yes, what the letter was, what was the letter, Kathy?
We're gonna bring it up right now. He's asking that we provide services for life estate deeds. And so this is the letter. I'll include it in the next meeting packet and we'll put it under new business session.
So as I understand, he's asking to expand the scope of service that the Elder Justice Center is authorized to undertake. Is that what is being requested here?
Correct, Your Honor, and the letter is on the screen right now for the board, which will be included in the next meeting packet for March.
Presiding Judge Lamarina, did you?
Yeah, I just wanted to know what the topic was all about so we can start thinking about it. So
Okay.
I agree that we should delay it until the next meeting, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, thank you, Presiding Judge Lamarina. Yeah, it's just, I think, requesting to modify the scope of service that our Elder Justice Center is authorized to undertake in relation to the program and the delivery of service. All right, so public discussion, any member of the public wishes to be heard? There being none, the next meeting is scheduled for Tuesday, March 22nd at 12:30 p.m. And we will continue with our virtual format in conducting our monthly meetings. Anything that any member wishes to bring to the attention of the board? There being none, I will entertain a motion to adjourn until the next month's meeting.
Move to adjourn, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
All right. It's
I'll
been moved and
move, Your
seconded.
Honor.
There
I'll-
being no
I'll
objection,
second.
it's been moved and seconded, and there being no objection, this meeting is duly adjourned. Thank you, everybody, and we will see everyone again next month. Thank you.
Okay, thank
Goodbye.
you. Have
Bye,
a good day,
everyone.
everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honors.
Thank you. All be safe.